This daf Yom Yerushalmi Orlah, and the article Osval edition. We're on daf Chavtes Amr Aleph. About halfway down the page, Amr Zero. The line starts Amr Zero. 3, 6, 11 lines to the top, and in the Vilna, it's on Yud Daled on base, the second last line. So Rabbi Zira says, the Amar. Now here it says Vikula, the Chazon Ish, and then you change it to Bikula, and Tzinuyin is circumstances. Hechavida. So that which Rabbi Yochanan said, no matter what, we always look at the heter kimil salkes heter kamisha eno. That eno mino rabba love mabatlo. You look at the heter, it's not there, and the eno mino is mabato, the iser. So how far does it extend? Rabbi Yosef Bun, Rabbi Yavo, B'Shem Rabbi Yochanan said it even extends to this. Slochis yain nesach. You have a plate full of yain nesach. Shepla nafla to chavis shel yain, which fell into a barrel of wine, and I'd ask it, of course, because it's min b'mino, it's mashu. B'chazan nafla to b'shamayim, and then this barrel fell into a well of water. Adroas heter k'misheino. You look at the mutter wine, it's not there. But also Isser, that Isser Yeshbo can know same time, and that Isser of the Ayin Nesach, it would be enough to put water to give it time to the bore. Then it's Osir being lab mutter, and besides mutter. So Arkadei Kach, that it's even if it's Aser's large barrel of wine, that barrel of wine falls into the well. Don't look at the wine, you just look at the mutter wine, you just look at the portion of usher wine and the well. Okay, now let's make our way back to Sor. Our Mishnah is where they fell sequentially. One batch and then another batch. Where they fell simultaneously. It says Rabbi Elazar hold it's also as well, or not. So the Shmini Meda, sorry, what does it say about that? Shmini Meda. Let's learn out from here. This is a Tosefta Psachim Perak Beis, Price Aleph, and Spon Yerushalmi Orlah. Hey Ralph. So Amos Chamitzon Shel Kuti Mutar LaAchar Pesach. Kutim, and before they decreed they were goyim, they status as Jew, but they were not choishish for the Isser of Chacham and Chomesh of Pesach, and they used to use that Chomesh of Pesach in order to ferment their dough. So how long do you have to assume that they have the fermented dough from Sor Shav Pesach? So Chametz Kutim Mutzah Achar Pesach. It's mutter after Pesach. Shel balabatim achar shol Shabbos Shavia. If it's balabatim, it's private individuals, so they bake once a week usually, and after 3 bakings, so then, in other words, 3 weeks, we assume that they have used up all the sorrow of Chomesh Shabbos Pesach. Shel nachtomim. And here the promotion, the grow, and the Tosefta changes. Shachtomim to bikfarim. The bakers who are baking small towns, lachar shlosh yomim, presumably they bake once a day. So it's after three days. The shachtomim here, it's, of course, we switched. It should be bikrochim, the bakers in large cities, so they bake constantly. So lachar shlosh tanuim, even in one day after 3 ovens full. Rabbi Shimon Lozomer, Afsha Okshomu Shababat Achar Shol Shabbos Shalafia. It says Hushia, but the emotion, the growing to Seft all changed to Im Haya. Adam Gadol, if he was even though they said in a Balabatim, it's only after 3 weeks, but if he's an Adam Gadol, means he's rich and he has lots of people eating his table. oh, she and Macy's Benor is marrying off his son, and therefore he did a lot of baking. Vav Shlosha Shabbos Achas, and he baked 3 ovens worth in 1 week. Zechar zeh, one after another, v'zechar zeh, and one after another. Mutter, it's permissible. V'av Amru shel nachtomim, this should be again b'kfarim. And that even when they said in the bakers in the villages, Lacha Shlosha Yomim, that it's after 3 days, the this guy is pressure. There's a lot of customers, I guess. And you could bake 3 ovens full b'yom echad. Zeh, mutter. Tani, we learned. I should translate. You baked in 1 day. It's a mutter. Tani Rabbi Shimon Omer Av Kshomu Shel Nachtomim Bekrochim. Can't change it yourself. And even he says the opposite. It's arguing. He says even when they say Nachtomim Bekrochim Lachar Shlosha Tanurim, after 3 tanurim, Ad Shlosha Masurim. It's for till 3 days. It's also. In other words, not true that it's 3 tanurim on 1 day, but you need 3 days, because since he separates the store in the morning for the entire day, so really, even as many ovens as he baked in 1 day, they all come in the same batch, and we need 3 batches. So therefore, it has to be 3 days. It's not a batch per oven; it's a batch per day. So therefore, he also needs 3 days, even in a large city. Now, all this was a preparation for a question, but the question is based on a presumption. And presumption is that he doesn't have 3 batches of Seor left from before Yontif. That's not how it works. It's based on the assumption that each time he uses Seor from what he has residual Seor from the previous batch. In other words, he uses his Seor in batch 1, that's all the Seor which has remained from after Pesach. And then from batch 1, he takes dough, makes it sour, and uses it to make batch 2. And then for that, he takes another one to make batch 3. So he takes from the Chodesh Pesach for 1, takes from 1 to 2, and from 2 to 3. And Chacham say until the 3rd one, there's still some residual impact of the Seor from before Pesach. But after the one, it's okay. So the question is, why is the second one not mutter? If you hold that it can when you have Seor from 2 sources simultaneously, so then, in the second batch, you have Seor, which came from the Chodesh of Pesach, but also from the other part of that dough, which was fermented, and which you fermented after baking the first batch to use on the second batch. So if that's the case, why is it also? Right? It should be mutter. That's what we're asked. Now, also Isa Shni Alom Isa V'Hetim is Chametzes. Isn't it from Isser and Heter together? Isser from before Pesach and the Heter from the first batch after Pesach. Umar Rabbi Yirmiyah b'Shem Rabbi Shimon Lakish Mantana Chamitzon Shel Chutim Rabbi Lezer. So who Taka? So the word Taka says that Yosef Shimon Lakish, who's the author of this Isser Chamitzon Shel Chutim? It's Rabbi Lezer, because he holds the second one as Osir. So from this we see that even if it's simultaneous, it's Osir. It's not just B'zeh Chazeh when this is last and it's Osir, but even if they simultaneously fall in, it's also Osir. But according to Chacham, they talk about mutter. Now we have I'm not sure I should go on. It's going to repeat it. We're going to continue this further, but we're ready on. Yeah, let's go on a little bit. Why not? Rabbi Chanina Anturia, Rabbi Yossi said to him, "In Hiris, I remember that Avisin." It says here Masin. It should be Amrin. Rasulio, the Rafulda, and the Chazon Ish. Amrin ad Rabbi Yirmiyah Shem Rabbi Shimon Lakish. I remember that you and Rabbi Yirmiyah said name of Shimon Lakish. Man Tana the Chamitza Shakutim Rabbi Lazar. That was your Masar. But later, I mean, Cain, we don't have that Masar. We have a different Masar, but the same idea. No, not the same idea. Sorry, actually. But Shem Lakish, you're the Chamitzin Shokutim Ki Rabbi Eliezer. Well, it sounds like the same idea, but it's not because of the word Yordu. And Yordu, Chamitzin Shokutim means Enechanami. You might have been able to mati the second batch, but they were Machmir, Lamida Milsa, and it's so they made it Ki Rabbi Eliezer, right? Yorduch actually, it's also not just the Yorduch, it's Ki Rabbi Eliezer. So instead of Matan Chiddush Kutim Rabbi Eliezer, it's Yordu Chamitzon Shel Kutim Ki Rabbi Eliezer. Asked it if it's Rabbi Eliezer. So it's not just Rabbi Eliezer, even Chachomim Masud. They gave it the status of Rabbi Eliezer because they wanted to be Machmir because people were Meko on Chometz Shavav HaPesach. Okay, so it continues. We're already on Lamed Aleph, so we'll stop here for today.